Now I'm getting curious. Is Ubisoft Assassin's Creed Shadow game gonna get released first, or will their company shut down first? Hello there, how's it? I'm Ame Gakita there. So obviously today in the chat we are going back to Ubisoft's topic again, whether we all like it or not. But the thing is, right, at this point of time, it's really kind of like interesting to see that now they are doing as what I predicted, which is basically laying off. I mean, like when you kind of like go around saying like they maybe have too much employee along the line, but the thing is, right, if the game is successful when they are making money, obviously you wouldn't think about having too much employee, because you can use the resource to come up with better other game and use that moment to build on your train to make sure that it go fast into the future, go fast in the distance, so that you can make even more game and make even more money. And that's always been how a game company work in so what they would say modern era. So the thing is, right, when we kind of talk about Ubisoft, it's really one of the moments when they have been called like Ubiflop or Ubislop along the line, where they have been releasing games that have like DEI indulge or LGBTQ or whatever logic they want, because they want to add the so-called modern audience situation. And the thing is, right, often more than not, it's really kind of like make up of 0.00001% of the gamer base, and often more than not you want to go for the higher amount. But instead of listening to most gamers, Ubisoft really do drop the ball on themselves and kind of like in a way start going in the direction of being a slop. And obviously, Rev Say and JD-san been covering this a lot lately, but it's actually more so that is when you kind of look at the situation, they have their stock market fall, their stock value fall to, if you want to go in that route, or maybe they are now getting to do layoff, cut or whatever lately, and it's going to be closer, higher amount along the line. It's kind of like just showing that, like I mentioned, when a game fail or when there is like something bad, obviously the first thing to go is not the CEO, not the higher position, but those on the lower end, which is the employees. So like I mentioned a lot of time in my random chat, obviously I'm not going to repeat the same thing every single time when I do a random chat. Just go and check all my old random chat if you guys are interested. But at the end of the day, it just shows that again, this is not really a prediction. It's like it became a spoiler, it just became a fact, and it just showcased that how a lot of like Ubisoft is not even listening to the right feedback. Their mindset is just basically thinking that, hey, we should be listening to what our game is about. We should talk about how DEI should be the way to go. We should say that there is no plan to shut down after season 4 and of the game actually is one of Ubisoft game which I never hear of, Deficit Ads, which didn't shut down after season 4. Instead, it was shut down after season 3. Amazingly. So the thing is, right, obviously it's a good thing they're gonna refund the game to those who pay for the game, because the game was supposed to be free. And obviously Game Journal, being Game Journal, always right on the moment where, oh, they got a lot of player base, they got a lot of numbers, concurrent viewers or concurrent player or whatever they call it along the line. Yeah, when you kind of like that, when your game is free and you got a lot of players going after it on the first week, yeah, you have to give it a wait and see approach. And often more than not, when you see that when you see the numbers start dropping, obviously it means that either the game had a lot of bugs or the game is just not fun at all. And I'm intending to say it's a combination of many reasons. It can be due to bug, it can be due to people misusing the system, like adding hack to or cheat to the game, and no action from Ubisoft along the line, as well as adding like game considering like too buggy or too weird for gamers along the line. And in the way, when you kind of like want to say that the so-called next Battlefield, the next Call of Duty game, yeah, that's kind of like scratching a little bit too far. And obviously when you kind of like have a game like this, it's gonna have a moment where people is just gonna say like, yeah, I think we'll just stick back to other game that is actually way better. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's really kind of like just showing case that Ubisoft is really out of touch with the gamer base. Just because you hire like people who can make game, you hire programmer, you hire artists, you hire whatever. But when you add DI just because of DI and not understanding what is the true actual gamer base out there, not even doing actual marketing research, yeah, you are just calling out for failure at this point of time. And obviously for Ubisoft is really, they are going that route, and like I mentioned, they are setting out like layoff after layoff, and it's really true. The layoff is going to cut up to the point that they are going to shut down company all over the world. Apparently there's really like hearsay about Osaka being affected, any other or maybe even like Sydney also being affected. I think even like the one that in Singapore is going to be affected as well, but who knows. So the thing is, right, when you have so many Ubisoft branch all over the world and you're going to shut them all down just because you couldn't sustain them anymore, I think like even for me, I would just probably just say that yeah, it's time to best give up when you're ahead. So the only thing is, right, is Assassin's Creed Shadow gonna be released first or not? Yeah, right now they really need to step out on the game. But then again, with how the controversy go, even if they're trying to like remove the Black Samurai, which is actually not historical accurate. I've been talking about it like it was done by a quest historian in the first damn place. Yeah, it just showcase how even like sometimes they just go with whatever BS they can get their hand on. And I mean, like I even talk about it really, like even they are trying to hide their numbers, trying to hide that their number is failing. Like even the deficit edge, right, when they claim that, oh, we got 3 million players on the first day. Yeah, for a free game obviously you get a lot of people giving it a try, but the thing is, right, it won't hide away the actual number when people are going to jump ship to other game or stop playing the game. Thing is, at the end of the day, if a game is not fun, people will go for other game to play. People are going to check out other better game. And obviously, Deficit as apparently by Ubisoft is not a fun game for many people. And obviously, if the game is like so-called thriving, is making having a lot of players, then obviously they shouldn't shut down the game. But if they shut down the game, it's just obviously saying like, hey, there's not much player in the game, right? So that is like really just showing case how bad Ubisoft is getting over the not even over the years. Okay, when they first start out saying like gamers should be comfortable with not owning the game in 2024 January. Yeah, I feel like it had been like 1 year past that post, but turned out that it wasn't even 1 year at this point of time. So the thing is, at the end of the day, when you kind of like look at like even like Assassin's Creed Shadow, even now they finally admit that half of their developers have not built a game before, which basically means they hire a lot of newbies or basically people who is new hired. Yeah, it's gonna be a whole new problem, which is the reason why a lot of people are saying like why there's a lot of bugs, why is there a lot of problem within the game itself. And I think it's fair for me to say at this point of time that maybe they should actually just admitted it long ago. Even some people who hear some of my past random chat will hear that sometimes a game company will hire new talents or new hire to do their work, and I won't blame them if they admit that some of the model that look weird are actually done by those new hire. Just because it's done by a new hire, obviously you should be saying, you shouldn't admit that hey, it's harder to make a new model. Often more than not, when a new hire do like the baseline, right, it's always the veteran who have to do the editing. But instead of like having like people who have experience in working on the game, you hire new talents and not even doing moderation within your own talents or within your new hire. Yeah, that just shows how bad the company is right at this point of time. So at the end of the day, even like if they're trying to hide what they should have admitted long ago, something that I say a lot of time in my past random chat. Yeah, they just decided to go for extortion, trying to see how much money they can squeeze out of their player base. But the thing is, right, when you have like rent to pay, and salary you have to pay, yeah, it's really kind of like showcase that even like they, instead of like saying like, hey, let's think of way to improve the game company, how to improve on the hire, they just show their hire to DI program, or even going with the idea that, hey, let's use bug, like if you want to play the game continue, like, or try to have the bug being solved, yeah, buy DLC. What DLC? So the thing is, right, it's really kind of like a moment where they just thinking at this point of time that they want more money, but they don't want to do any more work. I mean, like at this point of time, even like being a streamer 9 to 5 is actually way better than working for 9 to 5 at this point of time, maybe. But again, it's still suggested to many people. And the thing is, right, like I mentioned, when they're losing money, what is the first thing they're going out for? Obviously obviously they're going to lay off. But instead of laying off the CEO or laying off those at the higher position where they are always the problem, yeah, they decided to just throw the new hire or the lower rank people just because they can. And I think that, like, I think JT-san actually say a very good moment where maybe it's a good time for those people who work with Ubisoft to start looking for new alternative, maybe start thinking like what kind of job they should be looking for. And even if they are people who go around attacking gamers and what's not, I don't think it's actually fair just because like people are those people working at Ubisoft deserve some sort of like punishment or whatsoever. I mean, like at the end of the day, you still have to go with the idea that maybe the one at the helm, the one at the higher up is the problem that kind of like lead to everything below. But again, those people problematic, maybe they do deserve a little bit of call out, but then again, it's really subject to individual. Not everyone deserves that kind of thing, and some people who just work within Ubisoft is just trying to have some money to put food in on the table. But at the end of the day, it's still subjective to everyone individual point of view. At the end of the day, you still have to understand this is just my speculative thought. It's just a random chat. Whether you agree or disagree, whether you got your own point of view, you got your way of thinking, just write in the comment section, we can discuss it further. If not, if you do like this video, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe for more random chat where I talk about stuff that sometimes makes sense, doesn't make sense, or random at time. But the one thing I hope it's not random for you guys is have a nice day online. Bye.